His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you wear vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, he would have fallen in the place of Moses.
The Liberia National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Coma today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came, he also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we are always being molded. That's how God has already molded we are and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Josh Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency.
You ask yourself the question, is he here to rescue? This is on President Bouakai. This is President Bouakai's decision to bring the man that in trouble in Sierra Leone to say he's waiting for Gambia and Guinea to give him money, and Mamaka Benetton asking for money to get themselves ready. Prince Moi is on record, and these guys then passing like a bullet train through the Capitol building because the president said we must get this. It's all BMSP. Most of these people that call themselves rescue, they came for only three things. Hear me and hear me well. They came to steal, they came to kill, and they came to destroy. Hear me and hear me well. They got no love for country. They have no love for friendship. They have no love for your babies and your children. They care less whether you eat or you go to bed hungry. They care less. It's nothing to them. Every businesses that come into the country, they will grab it and instead they will make the money. Every concession have a kickback. We got to tell the Liberian people the truth. We are paving the way for an opposition to take over 2029. If you think you will listen to Reverend Luther Tappet that said that opposition are coming back, think again. Reverend Tappet said no, that opposition coming back because God has shown him the dream. Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, who kept watch over us throughout the week, last night, and has set us into this day. We are grateful to him. He instructed that in everything we must acknowledge him, be it politics, religion, social, economic, just any and everything, life, existence, we must acknowledge him. And he will order our steps, because we can plan, we can embark upon, but we do not know the end. Only he alone knows. So we acknowledge him. We can be like those 9 leopards that refuse to acknowledge in thanksgiving what God did for them. We are in the category of the one who returned to say thank you, acknowledging God's handiwork in his life. We are grateful. Thank you too for everything, the moral support, the pieces of advice, everything, the financial support. Thank you. Where the basket? Oh, okay. Yeah, so we left the basket with you over the weekend. You can return it to us this week. Yes. Asata Miller, Red Line, Emmanuel Bro, USA, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Eugene Jobo, Capital Bypass, Philip Kura, UAE, Tawale Kam, Buema Koi, Shoe Factory, Chicken Soup Factory Gulf, Fifth Kelvin Bapin, Nima United, Jeremiah Labla, FDA Community, Malu Fofana, 20th Street Sinker, Samson Carey, Batnersville Township, Mary Tooley, New Georgia, Ambassador Walter Morgan, CDC Regular Intellectual Militant, Ezekiel Johnson, Chicken Soup Factory, Royal Always VAR, D3, Comfort Newton, New Crew Town, Corner West, Claude de Paul, Musa A. Sharif, Congo Town, Hedron T. Toe, Caldwell, Emmanuel Kuya, David Dane Town, Gete, Doe Community, Smith, Dove, ELWA Rehab, A Valley Cora, Banjo, The Gambia, Richard Coleman, Greenville City, Hillary Kekula, Jackson C. Poonin Iron Factory, Block C Community. Pressures, there's Patricia Zia, your office. Osman Saul, your office, your business center, Gale Street, Patience Wisner, Lynch Street, Joan Momolo, Gale Street, Business Center, Princess Elpides, Francis Keta, Ibrahim Kroma, FC Barcelona fan. The chairman himself is on, Roma Rico, or Kenny Boy for short, the melting pot chairman, the chairman that cuts across, the chairman that everyone references. He is the great chairman. Good to have you on, Mr. Chairman. P. Marcos Davids is also on. Francis Keter is on. Yes. Oh, and the chairman's avenue. Roma Rico Avenue. Chairman Avenue is light up, very, very, very bright, very bright. A city by itself. When common citizen living somewhere, you know, it doesn't have to be aristocratic, but just as simple. Abraham, boy, Biotwe. Okay, Matthew Ondole, Bakpolo. All right, you are great people. So we can get started with our acknowledging and bringing on our dear sister Orita Sunday Choir. Thank you for coming on. Hope that you are faring well. Thank you so much for the pieces of advice and every other thing. Yes, thank you so much. All of you great people, wherever you are. Let's get started. But first, we are out of Liberia. What is unfolding in Botswana? The President Ian Khama has launched a scathing critique of leadership failure in Africa, calling Tanzania President Samia Suluhu Hassan illegitimate and accusing her of rigging the October 29 election using force to suppress dissent. He was quoted by the Daily Nation as saying, "I do not recognize the person who was inaugurated as the president of Tanzania. She is an illegitimate president." He also took aim at Cameroon's President Paul Biya, who was recently sworn in at 92 years old. Khama condemned the broader trend of African leaders clinging to power through repression, election rigging, and intimidation of opposition figures. Watch out for some of these characteristics going into 2029. Unity Party is desperate to stay on. Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo have launched a US-backed economic integration framework under President Donald Trump's mediation, aiming to link trade, energy, and infrastructure as part of broader peace efforts between the two neighbors. Protests have erupted in Nigeria's northern city of Kano after United States President Donald Trump threatened military action over alleged Christian genocide. Demonstrators, mostly from Muslim groups, marched with placards rejecting the claim and accusing the United States of trying to control Nigeria resources. Lastly, the daughter of South African President Jacob Zuma has pleaded not guilty to terrorism-related charges at the start of her trial in the port city of Durban. Duzeli Zuma Zambula is being persecuted over comments she made on social media 4 years ago during deadly protests in South Africa following the arrest of her father. a week of anarchy in several parts of the country in July 2021, including looting and arson, left at least 300 people dead and caused damage worth an estimated 2.8 billion rand, the South African currency. Zoma, 43, has been accused of fueling the unrest, and she faced charges of incitement to commit terrorism and public violence. The protests were concentrated in the provinces of Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal and followed the former president's arrest for disobeying a court order to testify at an inquiry into allegations of corruption while he was in power. Ms. Zuma has always denied the charges against her, with her lawyer previously labeling the state as weak. Those are some of the developments out of Liberia. Let's get to some of the events unfolding here, and then we are out for today. You are aware, not only are you aware, but you digested it. You have taken a deep dive into the 2026 budget they submitted in the tune of 1.2 billion, they said, and that rose to 1.2 billion because of the deal they entered into with ArcelorMittal Liberia. There's something called signature fee or bonus, 200 million, even though the finance minister said today, had ArcelorMittal not infused the 200 million in the projection or the budget, they will have still reached 1.2 billion. That's what he said. Also, let me inject some of his lines because I wouldn't have time to come to that since we're talking about this 1.2. He also said that there wasn't any budget shortfall. What was reported was just a media make-up fueled by some politicians, but there wasn't any budget shortfall, and there will be no budget shortfall. Everything is on course, and the country should watch out for unprecedented development with the budget at 1.2 billion United States dollars. Why the minister was rhetorical today, and that is the usual of a finance minister and other portfolios or people in whatever the position in this country. Before his rhetoric today at the Ministry of Information, you want to take a look at the budget. The very people, which is my specific attention, the very people who yesterday were complaining, and they used that as one of their weapons against Fonati Kofa, that he was increasing his budget, he was increasing days, he will create a fashion. The House of Representatives was a place of sets, meaning small groups. Every group had its own leader, and he wasn't the transparent type. He was the monetary mean type. He would take everything onto himself. Fast forward, you want to look at the legislature, look at the allocation, what they allocated onto themselves. The man who is the regime speaker, look at his budget. Look at the budget of the deputy speaker, the budget of the speaker. see how much they have increased debts. If you haven't understood that your problem, the legislature, well, you will continue to complain. They have no time for you. They are concerned about themselves, and they will always be concerned about themselves because you they see you as things to be used and not persons to be respected and served. So they will always use you by saying, doing the people's work. We are doing the people's work. We are working in the interest of the people. We are working in the interest of the people. That's what they will say. But they are working to increase their pockets. They are working to increase their businesses. Navarro's M, thank you for coming on. Hope that you are faring well. Good to see you. They are increasing their pockets. They're not concerned about you, but they made you to feel that they are concerned about you, but they aren't concerned. Look at the very legislature, what they did. The House of Representatives, see their budget is out. It is a public information. And as far as they're concerned, it is justifiable. So every increment for them is justifiable. No one questions it, but you should accept. But this is rescue legislature. That's it. There are other areas where you find the budget work good. There are other areas you see there is a discrepancy, and the craft thoughts, they know the reasons, but they made some significant improvements in some areas like health. Yes, but let's see how it goes. They put it at 1.2 billion and people were excited. Let me tell you a simple thing. Until you can put on the curiosity to be exposed, to get educated, to get fully engaged with information, you will continue to be tossed to and fro. You will be used. The politicians are very cunning, but not cunning in a sense of giving you a brighter future. Cunning is in the context of deception, lies, hypocrisy. They will not tell you the truth. They made you to believe over the days. They subjected you to believing, or they used you with number 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. Even some of the people in Unity Party, they don't even know when they hear the expression budget. They were running with it too, like the money is already there. The first time in the history of Liberia, the budget 1.2 billion. We're ready for development and all kinds of stuff they were saying. That is a projection. It's just the same as you want or you are about to go to the market. You have several items that you have decided to buy, and you list those items as per the price. The prices attached to that item is what is referred to as the budget. The item is what you will get. So when you finish now, then you have to look for the money. That's why when a woman takes the list to the husband, and then the husband appraises the list and say, but this money is more or this is less. Your budget, we don't have the money to get all of these that you want to buy. It is just a projection, a number. They now will have to start finding ways to look for that money. And that is the reason Augustin Gaffouin, the Minister of Information, went to the Minister of Finance, went to the Ministry of Information today to explain everything, how the budget looks by structure and how the money will be sourced. He confirmed what the media reported. The media reported 200 million as signature bonus from ArcelorMittal Liberia. He confirmed it. That's why he said, even if ArcelorMittal had not infused the 200 million, they would have stayed reached the 1.2 billion, which is not true, but you have to accept his rhetoric. You don't expect him to say we will not have reached or we can. You expect him to say that. So where they are now, they have to look for that money. 200 million is substantial. There are impediments, and the LRA boss, not today, in the past, he made it clear, and all of us know how revenue generation, domestic revenue generation, is tedious in this country. When I say tedious, I mean people just refuse. 1, 2, the empathy or sympathy. 3, the very government itself is an impediment to raising domestic revenue. You got a budget of 1.2 million. Take the 200 million given by ArcelorMittal. How is the government going to raise the rest of that money? SOEs are not actually really contributing to the budget, even though some of them are generating substantial amounts of revenue. Where the money going, no one knows. Businesses in this country, most of the businesses are not paying taxes. Most of the businesses, those 3 categories, small, medium, and large, they're not paying taxes as they ought to. You'll find those small, medium, or small businesses, people going there, LRA people, other people, they explain their situation, they put something in the pocket, even though they're generating more revenue, they put something in those inspectors' pocket, they're gone. They move to the medium enterprise, those businesses between the large and the small. Again, because they owe so much and they don't want to pay much, they go on bribing. And then there is the large business category. We know it for a fact because the same government people complain how the last time we had a conversation, a tete-a-tete with the LRA boss, what did he say? Most of these people, they are not paying taxes. Most of them. Most of these stores that you see around. And not that they don't have the ability, not that they're not generating revenue, but the very government go and take money from the people. Government officials go and take money from the people. Auditors go there to audit. The people bribe them with 2,000, 3,000, so they leave them. So the money that should be going into government's account, going into individual pockets, they are shielding businesses. So there are several impediments. This is not the first time. Didn't the LRA boss say that he was taking revenue generation to, well, how he say he made it at 500 and he was taking it to 1 billion. He couldn't reach the 1 billion. He came to give excuses. So as it stands, let's see how the government going to raise that 1.2 billion. It's one thing to be excited by the number. It's another thing to know that it is just a number with projection. Also, it is another thing to know that the money has to be sourced. The woman can make a very good listing of what she needs in the home, from food to utensils, everything, she can submit it. But if that man does not have the cash, that budget is just a paper. It will remain on the table. That's how it looks. The same with the national budget. 1.2 million. Don't be carried away with that because it sounds so high. 1.2 billion. You have to source. Remember now, our budget, we have never ever, since 1822 to 2025, we have never ever stood as an independent country, meaning we have never generated any and everything of our own like other countries would do. We always depend on other countries to subsidize our budget, which is a minus. And we have everything it takes to do that. If the World Bank don't infuse, the European Union don't infuse, IMF don't infuse, other multilateral institutions don't infuse, we can get a budget of our own. So we are sovereign on paper, but subservient practically. We are sovereign on paper. We are independent on paper, but we are a subservient country. A subservient country is that country that feeds on other people. A subservient person is that person who is at the will and pleasure of other people. So you see it everywhere from time to time. We have to beg countries, countries that are far older. In fact, countries that were not even existing when Liberia came into existence. Liberia far older than those countries, 10 years, 25 years, 40 years, 50 years. Those are the countries that Liberia depending on still. And I thought the government would have taken it as a challenge when the World Bank chief came at the Senate and said he sees no reason why Liberia is still in poverty when the country has all of the natural resources it takes to get it as one of the best developing or developed countries on the African continent. But here we are. ArcelorMittal pump in 200 million as signature fee. It's not just signature fee. No, that's not how it works in such a high profile business. It's not a free money. But the government makes you to think that it is a free money. ArcelorMittal cannot take 200 million United States dollars and just give it to a Liberian government because they want a deal and then it's a buy soldering. It's not entirely free. They're making it to think that ArcelorMittal gave this money or is free, so the post signature. It's not like those players. Even the player signature fee is not free. It's not free. That money will be taken back, will be given back. When the player signed this contract and then he has a signature fee or a bonus fee of 5 million. So you think it's free. It looks free, but it's not free by the standard of the agreement free or as in the agreement. That money, they will get it back from you as per the structure of the contract. There is nothing free. There is the reciprocity aspect in business, especially business of such nature. In this case, the government is desperate to prove a point to the opposition with development. So they can give in, they can stoop so low for just anything. So the budget is out, run through it. If we have the time tomorrow, if we don't have anything coming our way, we'll try to use at most an hour, and then that's it. But I just thought to focus on those guys at the legislature called honorable. Yesterday, it was bad. You see what is happening there. Richard Kuhn has increased. Richard Kuhn is living opulence. A deputy speaker, the rest of the people. But yesterday, it was bad. And that's Liberia culture. Once you are not there and your colleague is there, your colleague is the weakest man, your colleague against the people simply because you are in there. When you get there, you turn your back on the people the same way. So that's it. Yeah. That's it. Let's get to Dr. Rapte Peeling against Kilman Abrego Armando Garcia, deportation, visa extension, reciprocity. Those are the words, eh? Those are the words used. Deportation, visa extension, reciprocity. Dr. Rapte Peeling is a lecturer, university lecturer, not in Liberia, out of Liberia. I don't think she is an adjunct professor, but she teaches at the university, one of the universities in the United States of America. And she weighed in on this deportation, visa extension, reciprocity. Let me share a few quotes with her from her interview with Al Jazeera. She said, Liberia was founded as a refuge from American racism. By agreeing to host a man who explicitly does not want to be sent here, meaning Liberia, we are not honoring but betraying our history as a sanctuary for the oppressed. America once sent people of color to Liberia, but not like this. Those who left the United States in the 19th century chose to do so, meaning it was voluntary. For Washington to now deport a Salvadoran against his will and expect Liberia to receive him is neither voluntary nor defensible. She goes on, Africa has become a dumping ground for America's unwanted black and brown bodies. It is a continuation of the same racist logic that drove the American colonization society 2 centuries ago. The next quote, the United States has exploited Liberia for generations, from Firestone rubber plantation to Lamco mining deals. The next quote, now, asking us to take in their deportees continues that unequal dynamic under the guise of partnership. If President Trump were alive in the 1800s, he will have fit right in with the white supremacists who founded the American Colonization Society. Last quote, Liberia must remember it is a sovereign nation, not a pawn in someone's racist agenda. When I was talking about the budget, I said Liberia is sovereign on paper, but a subservient country, practically. Not that Liberia is cursed with that by God, but the people curse themselves. And we are not included. When I say the people, meaning the politicians. And because Liberia have always had a disjointed agenda going forward, so the white man will always want to have the last and final say, as in the case with Garcia. The Minister of Foreign Affairs lied. Whether she did something good or not, as far as I know, 3 significant events, three significant and things Did I say significant? No, useless. 3 useless things she did that she does not deserve any credit. You will say, oh, because that opposition radio is sitting on, so you win. It's not news to us. But yeah, is it if you are a rational being. The Necotech, yeah, is a woman that tried bullying her own country. Had it not been for the media again that we are going through, because she knows that she has a puppet of a president in Joseph Boakai, the media makes sure that that didn't work. Then came the second. United Nations non-permanency. Everything was done. Everything was finished with. There was nothing Liberia needed to have done. The only thing was wait until September. The date was already set for the announcement. They took the country money in an opulent manner, extravagant, all over the place, moving from country to country, as if it was something off, lobbying to get people support when it was already set. Liberia did not need to go to seek support of any country, any president that will need your vote, will need your this, will need your that. No, it was already arranged, it was said, it was finished with long. A sealed prophecy. Only the time they took the country money wastefully, moving from place to place, only to hear the United Nations announcing that it was in plan and it was set for this day for the announcement. What did she do? Nothing. She only danced all over the place. The man who was calling his colleagues in previous government as spineless, being wasteful, for splashing money in the United States. Darius DeLong. The third, foreign minister lied to the whole world when it was known that the United States government called those 5 presidents principally to ensure that they accept several deportees or several unwanted characters. It was the main reason they have invited those people. Again, when the Minister of Foreign Affairs was asked, as if the guys were not informed, she lied and said there was nothing. There was nothing. Only to have Garcia. She again came to make the announcement. You see it. You see, your prayer. She lied that there was nothing in place.
To return to that issue of welcoming deportees, it's been reported that Liberia received communications from the US before this meeting suggesting that, and you say it didn't come up during the talks, but did you receive some sort of message from the US before?
Prior to coming to this meeting in the US, we have received no information about deportees. And I think there's a lot of miscommunication. We have had discussions while here in DC around different types of engagements.
So she said there was nothing like that, but it was communicated before and during and after the meeting with Donald Trump. That was the reason Donald Trump praised, lay emphasis on Joseph Yuma Boakai as speaking good English. When we told you people, Donald Trump was being psychological. It is the normal, but it doesn't happen with everybody because not everybody have that ability. When you want somebody to do something for you, and given the nature of it, you use some words, you give the person's praises, recognition, that is called flattery. So the person will feel comfortable, open up, and whatever you say, the person will flow along with you. Donald Trump was not telling Joseph Ima Boakai that he's truly a grammarian. Boakai does not understand, does not know English. He doesn't speak well. No, he passed that level. At that stage, nobody speaks so well. No, not at all. But he puts himself in a position to get Joseph Ima Boakai to agree, since he knew that he was dealing with a puppet of a president from Liberia, a country that he referred to, one of the countries that he referred to, please, sorry for my expression, except the unprofessionalism, one of the countries making up the African continent that he referred to as shithole. And so, okay, we can dump. So it was discussed. The foreign minister knew it. At the close of the day, that the same woman comes back now with an announcement to the country that they're accepting Garcia on humanitarian ground because Liberia is a hospitable place. Though the emphasis is not on her, I'm just saying this from Dr. Raptel Pele's position against Liberia opening up to accept. So you see, when you have a president who doesn't understand the intricacies, doesn't understand the aftermath, all he wants to do is to prove a point to the opposition and give it the impression that he's making hair waves. This is it. I think I saw something from BBC that they're still on it. They're still hauling and pulling. I think the guy is still insisting he doesn't want to come to Liberia. There's things going on in Washington, and he's not the only person. Washington wants Liberia to accept this man first. Once the man arrives on Liberia soil, it will be the opening for several deportees. Now, as I told you, people, they didn't understand that implication. Assume that man is already in Liberia and something happens to him. America has nothing to do with it. The country he's coming from now, Liberia will face, that country will face Liberia. So the first thing, let's assume that something happened to him from El Salvador, and Liberia has a bilateral or diplomatic tie with El Salvador. The first thing they'll do, they will call a diplomatic tie. The second thing is they will make sure that they produce the living border it will be terrible. That's why countries around the world, when you see presidents around the world, the Ghanaian president, you think Ghanaian president is stupid? You think the man, he know the various implications politically, human, all of those things? The man knows. That's why the man said, no, we beg you. Coming here, if we open up to accept any of the deportees, meaning they are under our control, should anything happen, it will not turn to America. The country he's coming from now will not turn to us and say, you, Liberia or Ghana, responsible for this. You, Ghana, did this to our citizen. Hence, we need this, we demand that. That's the implication. So when such pricing is on your soil, the protection, maximum protection, and Liberia does not have the facility, where are you going to keep the man? You're going to keep him inside a hotel? Somebody who is of that nature. People say the man is IT specialist, they're focusing on that. But I listened to a report last week from BBC in the morning, how they call the program, which I listen to every day. They will talk about the other side of the guy, that dangerous nature that he has. And when the guy was explaining that other aspect of Garcia, I just said to myself, I can see why the United States government said, we don't want this man on our soil. Let's find place to dump him, and no better place to dump him but that poor, wretched place called Liberia. That will be doing it. So just I agree with Dr. Raptel Pele. She isn't saying anything from what we've been saying. The Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force we are in CDC target by Unity Party. the task force and Edwin Clark Martin are on a mission. John Uboti, one of those Edwin Clark Martin said a lot about, indicted him, ordered his arrest, had a news conference today to debunk everything. And he revealed some things that even question further the intent of the assets recovery and property retrieval task force. As far as we know, they were instructed by JMB, their boss, to do it, and they have his backing. But it is not political, as Edwin Martin would sound, or make it to sound like to his boss. It's not a political stuff that you just order and the person goes to jail. This is illegal stuff. You can sound political, you can be more aggressive, loud mouth in from the media is one thing, proving that in the court is another thing. That will take us to Mr. President. So if these guys are serious, the task force, the asset recovery and property retrieval task force, if they are serious, if it is not a witch hunt, if it is not Joseph Yuma Boaka target at George Weah and his former officials, and they are neutral, then we have to ask some questions. Yeah, we have a mystery building, a mystery villa in the country. Nobody knows about it, but it's been protected by presidential guard. So assume nobody knows about it. It is a mystery carrier or a mystery institution. Doesn't it make sense that the assets that is on our soil, nobody knows about it, that the government should take over it, seal it up, that Edwin Martin can have a news conference and display that just as he did with those places he said are for Findabono? The second thing is, why, if that place is not for Joseph Yuma Boakai, then why his officials cannot raise concern of this one since it is not for the president? Let's assume that it is not for the president. It is a mystery building. Public discussion. Just like they will jump in other things and talk. Why do we not jump in this one? Why no Unity Party people talking about this? They are talking about other things. They talk about the president's, the former president is not in a good bill of health. The assets retrieval indicted Finabono, John Uboti, they stole 6.5 million, 6.7 million. They're running all over with it. So this one, why they can join us in the conversation? Let's ask the questions. Why government officials are not talking? They, like us, should be asking. Why are all of them tight-lipped on this supposedly JMB palace? Why? Why no government official wants to, but you have government presidential guy manning the place. Government presidential guy manning the place. And why nobody wants to talk about it? Because they know it's for Joseph Yuma Boakai. They know that. Every Unity Party person knows that that place is for Joseph Yuma Boakai. It is his place. It is his palace, his presidential palace. It is his place. This morning, Stephen Compton called up David Menger, who is the editor of the newspaper Liberian Investigator. they did an in-depth investigation, and their claim, according to him, found that the place is truly for Joseph Yeman Boakai.
This investigation is something that's been going on for some time now. You are aware that when the discussions about the project came up, the government has been struggling to provide information, credible information to the public relative to the financier behind the project and the origin. So what we did was that as a reputable and institution, we thought it necessary to pay a visit to the scene. While in Lofa, we visited the place. We decided to speak with people of credible standing, people who are following with the project, the details of the project, people who are also involved. We've spoken to a number of people, including county leadership. Our discovery was that this project started just a few weeks into the presidency of the president, Joseph Boakai. In weeks, he was inaugurated on the 22nd of January. In February, early February, discussions started, or investigation found out that in February, discussions started about this project. And the former, let's say, representative who is now Minister of Internal Affairs, Francis Yumaling, was the one who went to begin the negotiation on the land, obtaining the land. And the land size is 7 acres. Okay. It is in Bandilo. Bandilo is just a stone throw from the Ninfuera Statutory District headquarters. So there, they acquired the land, and there was a Liberian contractor who actually started the project called Edward Yama, and then he started the foundation. But then in no time, they removed him, and the Turkish guys started doing the job. They picked it up from there. So our investigation found out that every major building material that used there or is being used there actually is from Turkey. They've been transporting those materials overnight, according to our sources, to the place. I also experienced it, right? The security of the place is very tight. They don't allow you to, but we are journalists, we're always ahead. They don't allow you to have access to the place. In fact, you go there, you see the guys are even protecting the place, putting up some rebellious attitudes. Some of them with the way they put up themselves. But for us, those are all beautiful parts of the story. To go and engage them. The objective of this report is to inform the public that, because you remember Daniel Santos said one time that it was the Mano River Union that was, financing this project. In no time, that was debunked. Mano River Union has no involvement. Kula Fofana said, well, it was project and it was government's own, but there's no way in the budget anywhere we can trace a line, single line indicating that there is an appropriation from the government for this project. You remember also this current Minister of State who has been in charge of the president's projects, major projects around here, went to the Senate and then told the Senate that he has no idea about this project.
Definitely.
So it was necessary to pay a visit on the ground and be able to find out. So as you are aware, as you've read our report, our understanding is that these, let's say, Turkish firms, those who are financing this project, of course, have a stake, they have an interest, and that is in our mining sector.
It's all but fair. Mr. President office just admit that the place is his. Simple as that. But you know why they will not do it? Because the president made BMOP from the beginning. He came with a targeted mind. He came with personal grudge. He accused, he condemned previous administration on the resources of the country. Then finds himself doing the same thing he accused of. That's why they don't want to say. But it is an open secret now. All of them are telling, all of his people, I bet you if this place was not for Joseph Yeman Boakai, his Unity Party people will be out 24/7. It will even be in the legislature. The House of Representatives will raise it. The Senate will raise it. But because it is for Joseph Yeman Boakai, it can get on the Senate floor. It can get on the House of Representatives floor. Nobody can raise it. Even those who are not Unity Party representatives and senators, if they do raise it, they will not be given the attention. But every one of them knows that this whole 10 million building mansion palace for Joseph Yeman Boakai. But the timing They are embarrassed. They are ashamed because of the timing. The same way they say, we are got to the president, say, less than no time, you are building condominiums all over the place. The same time, Joseph Yuma Boakai comes to the president and say, he's building presidential condominiums. So they are ashamed, they are embarrassed. His press secretary embarrassed him. His secretary, his office staff, Samuel Stikuya, embarrassed him. He could not say anything. What's the other person? The deputy minister for information. The Peking could not say anything. All of them. The minister himself, Jeremy Pierre, refrained from saying anything because he knows that if for Boakai, he just did not have anything to say. I am saying this to mean that let us not be deceptive, or the assets recovery thing is purely a vendetta against George Weah and CDC people, nothing else. Even though Clamartin tried calling Ebogor, expose him. How can he say their work dates back to 10 years? How is it possible when you were established in Boakai time? What are you going to? Because if your work date back to 10 years, then it means that Boakai, Ellie, together with Weah, you will bring everybody in the picture. So Boakai will be indicted of your resources. You will have to ask Boakai, where you getting money from to do XYZ? You will have to ask Ellie. Chief, we're having stupid here. The whole thing here is Boakai grudge against George Weah and all CDC officials. It's not to say that a government should not take stock of government property from previous government, but the way it is being done, Edwin Martin has and is on a mission against all of those people. And so you see the pro media will run with it like it is a full indictment. They have been found guilty. Here is Joseph Yuma Boakai, his own bossman, Edwin Clamartin bossman, 10 million United States dollars. And this is what we know of. Oh, imagine the one that we don't know of. 10 million. So much of a money that can do so much development. But Boakai is developing himself. Maybe when he's getting into 2029, he sees that he can make it to run. Then you go sit down in a 20 million villa and say, Jeremiah Kun, you can run. You can take over. So he's preparing his resting place ahead of time. Then let's end with CMC, Citizens Movement for Change. Musa Bility is doing extremely well. Musa Bility is development oriented. Put the politics into it, he's right. Take the politics out of it, he's right with the business venture. A stakeholder must engage in development. And Musa Bility is pushing. He's competing with the government. And it's good. If we can have politicians, other politicians and other people, business people doing that, it will be good. At least it will create jobs for people. And the weight will not be on the government entirely to provide jobs. Already the government can provide jobs. So Musa Bility, according to his press secretary, Smith Toby, brought in 1 million solar lights. 1 million. Even though they don't want him to do the bridge and other things, but he's doing other things in other areas that the government can stop. So let's see now, let the government seek permission on this. Then we know that they are afraid of Bility, because Bility is doing much more than the government itself. Anyway, let's listen to Smith Toby. The government, Bility is doing much more than the government when it comes to development. They put few lights in some area, small area. When they put 1, 2 LED bulbs there, then they say, oh, Boakai lighting up this place. Boakai lighting up the country. That 2, 3 LED bulbs. Yeah, Smith-Toby. Smith-Toby is the press secretary or the media man to Musability. He manages the media affairs of the Citizens Movement for Change. Yeah, is Smith-Toby with the disclosure.
We've brought in 1 million solar lights. Go to District 4, see how many solar lights we put there already. Go there. Go to Jonah District, see how many 1 million solar lights, pieces of solar lights. It's here. The CMC is in the country. Everywhere we go, we put solar lights. Some places you go is dark. I went to a town in Nima, no light. So you just got children just burning, because nothing, no recreation. You go to bed 6 o'clock. What you be doing? So people just burning in the towns and villages. They can't even see light. So we intend to help. Now when they can stop us, they will not go there and put the light then down. We already started here. Go to District 4, see how many solar lights we put there already. We brought in, I say, come here. I say we brought in 1 million solar lights. We will divide it in towns and villages.
Well, that's it. So let's turn to you now. It's time to have your say, having shared those pointers with you on. Okay, we'll talk Gonglo later. Councillor Gonglo, it might be tomorrow, but let's see how it goes. 0772 23 99 33 0777 9803 75. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Andrew, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is David King, and I join you from a resident. No, Mr. Andrew, the whole thing about $1.2 billion is a charade. Yesterday, we have to recharge the budget of 800 million plus budget. We have to recharge the budget to get 630 million. We have $35 million from that budget. So when Gafua go and stand before Liberian people at the Ministry of Information, opening a loud mouth to lie to the people, because all of the government officials in this government, including the president, after one of them can lie. So lying is that we are lying. This is how they came to power. So they will never refrain from lying to the Liberian people. They are lying until they are caught up with them in the dark. They are lying. The Liberian people are now confused with the kind of lies they bring to them. So somebody telling us the life will improve. That budget is not meant for the people. Look at Funanti, how they call it, Rachel budget. Look at Tumafara budget. Look at Nobly budget. Look at Joseph Wanda budget. Look at his budget. There is only meant for those that are in the Union Party at a higher level to get what they can get from Liberian people, because they are looking the country on an industrial scale. And we Liberians, we have to wake up to the occasion. Don't mind us looking at that for education and health. They will not resonate with us. They will not do anything for us. They are lying to us. They've been lying from the day they started that campaign.
Did you go through the budget?
I saw someone lying in the budget, not
wait now. Wait.
Yeah.
Did you see anything, any allocation for the 40 military hospital?
I didn't see anything. I didn't go down that line. I didn't see anything concerning that. Okay, I did not see that. So for people to be seeing what they see what they want and not measure.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, that's Moka. And I'm the visually impaired are keeping this unprepared president official they fired. Saying that budget is not realizable. The period to that. It's not. Because the United Party government is noted for that.
They can raise they can raise that 1.2 billion. They got 200 million already.
They can't. They can't. You bear right yesterday during the 12 year of Joseph government. That's what they were doing. Even when they put the budget up, they could not raise that money. Went up. As much as we have out of the NGO in the country, we have all you contributing great portion to our economy. They could not raise that money. Then at this time, look around you, say something funny happened today. After accusing our people, that every time they put the water is smelling. I feel that because the bath is dirty. They say no, the bath is clean, but what's happening? The company that will be buying the water for, the water is back of the people are not buying it. Businesses are closing. Businesses are not, where do you raise the money from? Not the 200 million that they are talking about from Meta. Look at the current salary structure of the government. We are talking about 34 to 35 million every month. Multiply that to just that of 7 months. And see out of that 200 million to even be able to even seven salary for about 30 to 50 months. But I don't know that one of my friends for us so you say, why our people rejoice of everything they hear about the government? I don't know. Because why is it there for you?
All right,
you have $1.2 billion. You are jumping all over rejoicing.
All right.
You are not listening. You are not ready to see what is in it for you. You are rejoicing.
All right, thank you, sir.
It's not realizable. You could not raise 800 million. They cannot raise that $1.2 billion. It was sorry. Thank you.
Maybe it was an oversight, but when I say oversight, maybe I didn't just read that readily. I'm saying JFK from 9.0 million to 9.16 million. Phoebe from 1.28 million to 2.08 million. Jackson F. Dole Memorial Hospital from 3.17 million to 3.67 million. Liberia Medical and Health Regulatory Authority from 1.48 to 1.81. That's the health sector. That's the health sector. Gafwan said emphasis in the budget, they place emphasis on the health sector to strengthen it. But I'm yet to see any allocation to the 40 military hospital. If nothing is like that, if no allocation is, or if it is not factored in the 2026 budget, listen to me carefully, I have not exhausted. This is just a minute portion. I am saying if the 40 military hospital, because the Minister of Finance lays so much emphasis on strengthening the health sector by their allocation in the budget. He laid emphasis on that. So the 40 military hospital is not political. It's not a political institution. It's a health center catering to the people. So if it is not factored in the budget, then we can say it's wicked, it's intentional, it's bad off. Then we can say that truly Joseph Yima Boakai is against George Weah, that anything associated with George Weah, a time must not go there. Oh yeah? If let's assume, I have not exhausted the budget, but the little I have seen, that portion, coupled with what the Minister of Finance said today, that they made significant increment for health institutions to the extent that he said ELWA, the government will take full responsibility for ELWA employees. The government will pay for 1 year ELWA employees. And the reason he gave, so that the hospital should not collapse, they take responsibility to pay the employees. So, meaning they want to keep ELWA hospital, given that it is a significant health center, afloat. So the same with the 14 military hospital, if it is not factored, then you say Unity Party government truly, then you can see the broad day grush. Anything we have paid, it will not be a surprise. One day you wake up in the morning, Unity Party people, they instruct, say everything that we have paid, you'll go break all down. This country, I see it going back to another round of war. Don't get me, I'm not being pessimistic. I'm not being cynical. But listen, these are things that you can read from. Even if God were to send Angel Gabriel down, he will tell you the same thing. Because if you said something for a country and the president comes and said, no, once that the man set it up, nothing will go there. Tell me now, the next man that will come, or even if we are coming back, what we are going to do All Bwakatini are going to say you put it, sir. So it will just be grush after grush, grush after grush. And may I tell you that I get the country today, we ain't go nowhere. 176 years is still a poverty-stricken country, still a begging country, a liability country, a subservient country because of the heart. The heart. Hello.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter, I'm calling from Johnson. Thank you very much, my brother, for the topic. No, my brother, that man, you're not putting nothing for 14 military hospitals. So, not a person, we have paid a hospital for the Liberian people, for the soldiers. They never not spend money there. The reason I said they
no, I know. That's not what I'm saying. I said I've not completed a whole part, but I'm just assuming. So it's not a fact.
They're not there. That no anything.
You saw what you say not there. You saw the budget.
They're not that close.
You saw the budget. You say not there. You saw the budget. You read it.
I see the budget.
So don't say not there.
So even the immigration paying, all the people they never not for nothing. So no la person we are paying for the city. In pay for himself, pay for the people. They pay gas gloss, and the people that are around the party, they want to plunge their country to chaos, and they're telling back to do it. And the people that are around year from year, they're supporting it. Let me tell you, the reason important to hear the pain and the work of one say, and the year and Waka you to go for hospital.
Okay.
Give me the free for yes. So I wish they were forming in there. So stop politicians to hear the year.
All right. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, I'm Drew.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. My name is Spring B. Morris. I'm calling from Panave. I want to know that the Emery Hospital, if you look at if they put anything in the budget for the Emery Hospital.
My man, you are asking the same question. The 14 military hospital, Emery Hospital. You are asking the same question, Chief. I have not exhausted the budget yet. Yeah, I've been through a number of things. I can tell you. If you're there, I will tell you.
But yeah, the VA is a private hospital. So the government owned property, the person will leave it and invest into a private hospital.
A good question. Very good question, Chief.
The president too wicked.
All right. Hello.
Yeah. That is my message. Thank you for the evening. In that level, we are. So when that level, we are saying we are the country. That Genesis for 4 years, but not to be new. He can be new. He not getting nothing. He has to go hospital. There is one thing about to put it in the country. Papa, 20 years. That is Genesis. That is Genesis. Genesis. So we just got with it, bro. Thank you, Amy.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Cut off the radio. I said before you call, you're cut off the radio.
Yeah, I'm Mike. Whatever calling from Senior Chief Service Community. Yeah. Let me say thank you for the information like giving to our the boss say any evil man God will lay after them. So as long as they get after what evil man again, we are it's difficult for you to stop. Anything you put in you'll be failure. So I want you to give the people out and when they pull up budget, then now have to meet all the target because when you get out anything else, you say, well, always expose you and put you to shame. So they'll still enter. So thank you for the information.
Good. Have a nice Monday. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. My talk going that go man, that Clamante. You Clamante. This place I used to go and you go to service and you sit down in the front pew. Everybody have respect for you. You want any dancing with the devil? You know what? Finance started our business when you voted. And you say you coming because of your you dancing with the devil. Now you want to suppress them by carrying them to jail, try to disgrace on you. I think you come from the southeast to make us shame like this. I'm ashamed of you. Thank you.
Okay. All right, you did extremely well. So let's go. Let's have this break. This break.
Yeah. Go. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Wait. From the heart of Liberia, a new day is here. Hope in our voices and vision so clear. We gather as one under unity's call to build a foundation where justice stands tall. Rise up, CDC, let the whole world see. We're building a future for you and for me. With courage and truth, together we stand. A new headquarters and a stronger land. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. The people have spoken, their dreams now take flight. With wisdom and purpose, we march to the light. Brick by brick and hand in hand, we're shaping tomorrow across this proud land. Rise up, CDC, let the whole world see. We're building a future for you and for me. With courage and truth, together we stand. A new headquarters and a stronger land. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. From Monrovia streets to the riverside, we carry the promise with honor and pride. For peace and for progress, for liberty's flame. Together as Liberians, we rise in your name. Rise up, CDC, let the whole world see. We're building a future for you and for me. With courage and truth, together we stand. A new headquarters and a stronger land. Yeah. So let the drums thunder, let the people sing for the CDC's future. Let freedom reign with faith in tomorrow and pride in our hearts. This is our beginning. This is where it starts. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. They broke down our headquarters, but it didn't break our soul. CDC stands stronger. We are ready, we are bold. From West Point to Point 4, from New Crew Town to Congo, all are welcome here. Together we will grow. CDC is our party. George Way is our leader, standing proud and hard. This party's for the people, for the common man's fight. CDC is more than a structure. CDC is a way of life. Oh. Hey. We are Shian CDCians and the common people too. We build this new foundation with red, white, and blue. No matter where you're from, no matter who you are, in CDC's big family, you'll always have a part. CDC is our party. George Way is our leader, standing proud and hard. This party's for the people, for the common man's fight. CDC is more than a structure. CDC is a way of life. They try to break us down, but we rise above with unity and hope and our liberty and love. From every street and corner, let this anthem sound. CDC is for everyone. Come and gather round. CDC is our party. George Weah is our leader, standing proud and hardy. This part is for the people, for the government's fight. CDC is more than a structure. CDC is a way of life. So let the drums beat, let the people sing from our new headquarters. Let freedom ring. CDC forever, together side by side. All are welcome here with dignity and pride. Show let my show let my show let my show let my.
You are listening to and watching Real Talk on Kings 88.5. Today is Monday, the 10th day of November 2025. Let's go home with the second and last segment of the show. This is the usual, and it is Weah returns to the presidency 2029. It's good that you all know now Unity Party is afraid of George Weah. You all know now that Unity Party knows it can be George Weah 2029. It is a glaring fact that George Weah is better, stronger, forceful than anybody in the Unity Party. Interestingly, they have resorted to something of not good of a plan they call politics or propaganda to think that way something occultic by their occultic nature will happen to George Weah so that he's out of the way and would not contest 2029 elections. It is an obvious fact that they are afraid. They are afraid. They know that George Weah is a force to reckon with. So they have engaged into acts that they cannot sustain. These two sayings are not only sayings, but they are caution of the now and the future. And if you are a supporter or supporters of George Weah, by extension, the Congress of Democratic Change, don't overlook these two sayings. They summarize Unity Party entire diabolical plan against George Weah.
Law, they have manipulated security, other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. The president had interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency.
In becoming a bad person, George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. Forever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
I do not know how you still need to understand that you have not understood yet the devilish nature of Unity Party. Unity Party had been destructive, evil, diabolical, satanic from the very first day. Look at the Unity Party's life. Not a surprise. The only reason they resorted to this because they have nothing, they empty. But like the saying resonates so well, George Weah would never ever buy into the tricks. Unity Party think that they are tricky or they know trick. Moreover, they think that is politics. Beyond that, they aren't strong as George Weah supporters. And I like how the saying ended. Would not buy into. Would not buy into. Let me put that in context. Listen again, please. Listen again, and then put that in context. That line, would not buy into.
People are looking for good image. You are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. A bad person, George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. A bad person, George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
Now, here is how AB couldn't have put it any better. You seditionists, you open your ears, raise your curiosity to understand God. This line, here is how one buy into the trick of another person. The person who is coming up with the trick is a scared, lazy person. That person isn't strong. That person knows the person to whom he or she tried to trick is well advanced, but will come in a way like Satan will operate by using external. And if you aren't strong, you start to say some things, do some things, That way you have bought in, you have given in. Also, you cannot buy in, but you can teach sense. You can take off the clown or the stupidity of the person and put sense. And if you look at the culture carefully, it's what the man whom Unity Party have already killed said. Please listen to these lines. These are lines of education. These are not lines of buying in. He said, please, man, I hold your feet. Let me put my phone in my pocket while I wash the oh, you get it? Listen, please, man, the expression in Liberian parlance, please, man, you know what I mean? Madam Fool, Mr. Fool, a doll of a person like you. In America, what happened? Donald Trump made the fool of Joseph Boakai when he said, oh, you speak good English. It's not a good expression. You have to know how to interpret local lines. The former president is bringing out the fool. He's not buying in, but he's educating. Meaning to tell a person that you claim to be a big person, but you are small mentally. You have tabula rasa, or your mind is a tabula rasa, meaning empty. When somebody in Liberian terms, they tell you, please, man, the person is telling you, hey, come on, get your fool. Take your clown of yourself off me. Please, man, I hold your foot. It's not a hold your foot. It's not an expression of giving in. The person is still telling you how stupid and dull you are to say you're looking at a living person and you said the person died. So the dead, the resurrected dead, or the dead resurrected, is telling the living educated that you are so dull, it was better that you let me complete. Please, man, I hold your feet. Let me put my phone in my pocket while I watch Korea DPR versus the Netherlands female under 17 World Cup match here in Morocco. Don't say the Moroccan doctors gave me machine to put in my pocket. You got it? You understanding the context? Please, you guys are finding it a bit difficult. Let's go back.
Joshua would never, ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never, ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never, ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never, ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
So he is using his wisdom to tell them that they are dull. He is using his wisdom to educate them, to bring the fool of them that they will see and put sense in their head. Also, he is telling them that they are humans, but they don't know they are humans. Something must be wrong with them. Terrible mental illness. Tell it. They have, as per the last line, listen to the last line. Don't say the Moroccan doctors gave me machine to put in my pocket. You can interpret. You know why Jesus' disciple asked him, say, why do you always speak in parables? The reason they asked him, because they were finding it difficult to comprehend or to understand the idea you are sending across. What the dead man is telling them, you say I die, but you have a living dead that can die at any time, that is surviving on machine. You've seen it. And then you're telling somebody who is not surviving on machine, somebody who does not have a machine backup, and you have a machine backup, and you say, I am dead. Well, we are getting too much sense. Listen, that's what he say here. Don't say the Moroccan doctors gave me machine to put in my pocket. All of us know who using machine here, Joe Boakai. We didn't know that. His own nephew, dependable nephew, told us that he carried Joseph Boakai to hospital and the examination. So he was telling us that while Joseph Boakai was being treated in a hospital, he saw everything. So he told us that Joseph Boakai is using machine, life support. And here is the second one. He said, I guess I am resurrected. Glory be to our great God. Thank you, Father, for keeping me safe. Dead man writing. Can dead men write? Can dead men talk? Unity Party is wicked. Unity Party cannot sustain this. Unity Party has to stop. And their supporters are enjoying it. I want you to please listen carefully. Their supporters are enjoying it. Now, yesterday, they brought several charges against former President George Weah on cultural and ethical grounds. They said when George Weah used his elbow to greet the current vice president, they flooded social media and talk shows and every other thing, that he was on culture, that it is our culture to greet people by shaking hands, and the former president was being on culture, that was unethical. They were preaching all of the ethical gospels, the cultural gospels. They were preaching it all over the place. Before then, when the president was being described as per the person who is talking about the president's description, his people will come out and say it was wrong. The president is a statesman. 1, 2, he is an elderly man. He should be respected. People should not talk to him any kind of way, use any kind of words on him, should not insult the president. His people came out and other people joined. Here is the former president, the standard bearer of the Congress of Democratic Change, a global icon. Unity Party people are running with it all around, that he's dead, he's suffering kidney failure, he's in this, he in that place, and none of their officials are talking anything against. Right now, it's not on culture. It is not unethical. So yeah, that line that AB used, that George Weah would never ever buy into their tricks. They think that as they do it, they come up with all of these shenanigans. When you start to react and say some awful things about Joseph Yema Boakai, they'll get vexed and start retaliating, because Bouaga has the army, he has the police that is predatory by nature. They're ready to unleash havoc on any party from the opposition. He has the prison, he has every other thing. So when you begin to react and say some things, they will not look at from where it started. They now will start going after you. But nobody can go after you. This is democracy. Unity Party people cannot sustain this. It is not politics. It is not a political weapon. If you think that it is the best way to go, the guata politics, we can pursue the guata politics. We can say, just as you say George Weah is dead, we can say Joseph Bima Bouaga is walking dead. That is no crime. It is no violation. Nothing. You can hold anybody for that. If you could hold people for that, then all of the people who are posting all around and even saying their own radio station that George Weah is sick, then we'll request that they be arrested. It is wrong. And Unity Party is increasing the popularity of George Weah. Take it or leave it. When you are so dull of understanding, you can reason well. That's what happened. They took 1 year, 6 months on one person called Fonati Kofa, that today they got nothing to show developmentally. They have not graduated from that stupor. Let me not use stupidity, because when you use stupidity, they can say you're insulting. So let me substitute stupidity for stupor, but that is the same thing. When you're dealing with dull people who claim they know, they say, oh, you're insulting, you're stupid, you're insulting the president. Oh, you're insulting the people. So now we say, okay, we're not using stupid, we use stupor. Stupor is the same as stupidity. But saying the word stupid, it harsh for you, then we put it aside. But then we use the same stupid, but there's a word there that means stupid. They call it stupor. You use 1 full year, 6 months on one person to get him out of that place. You people are doing everything possible for George Weah. Unity Party, all of you support us. You people are campaigning for George Weah. You can say whatever you want to say. You people are buying into your own stupor. And I'm using stupid because you say that inside you can hear you. So I'm using the other word for stupid, called it stupor. And you say you're door. You're buying into your own stupor. You're campaigning for Weah. You're expanding and spreading and popularizing. We are already 1 million by racial popularity. That's what you're doing. It's because you people, Unity Party is afraid of George Weah. Unity Party knows that they can't beat George Weah. Joseph Yema Bouaga cannot beat George Weah 2029. Jeremiah Kwankun cannot beat George Weah at the ballot box 2029. That person to beat George Weah 2029 has not come to the earth and joined politics yet. Put election on tomorrow, and Weah is in the race with everybody. No tampering with the pool. It will be a margin gulf or a gulf margin. So you can say whatever. You can do whatever you want to do. You can write. Thank God we're in the age of technology and no one is exempt. You can turn Weah into whatever cartoon. It doesn't say that Bouaga cannot be turned into a cartoon because everybody is in the space of technology. Almost everybody is techno-savvy. You can take Boakai and put him in a hospital. You can even take Boakai and put him in where and say the president drowning. You can even take Boakai on the ground and say he fell down. He gone off the spray all over. Everybody, not only it's Unity Party people, know how to use technology. Everybody knows it. So when you put we are on a bed and say he's sick, another CDC person can put Boakai on a bed and say Boakai's sick. And I know that Unity Party people can sustain this. They are creating more distractions for themselves. And they think that they are doing it against they are popular, they are increasing Wea's popularity. The dullest thing that you ever want to do is to leave what you ought to do to focus on that which has no substance whatsoever. It takes nothing away from Wea. Wea remains the standard bearer of CDC. Wea remains a global icon. Wea is by far better off than Joseph Yema Boakai. In every aspect of existence, Wea is better off. Wea saw better life than Boakai. Wea saw good life before Boakai. Wea has traveled to he has almost completed the war. Boakai never. He only had the opportunity during Ellen's regime to go to the UN and come back. Wea knows global stars, political stars, musical stars in the music industry, in the political industry, in the economic industry, everywhere, presidents around the world. They are his friends. They talk personally. When you're putting it out, you think it's going to have any international bearing psychologically on George Weah? No. You think his partners, you think his fellow presidents, current and former, you think they're going to call him, or when they're in a gathering and say, what's happening in your country, your people say, oh, you're dead, or the spirit before us? You think they have time for that thing? Your message is only right here in the small village. It's not outside. We ain't got time for that thing. Because you know why? They know that they have so much significant thing to do, and they know that nothing of such. They just know that Liberia is a culture where vast majority of the people are not educated. They are not enlightened. They just stoop so low. During Ellen's regime, what the president of the United States then say that they should ship books, containers of books to Liberia. What was he saying simply? What was the message? That as far as I know, Liberia is not an enlightened society, even though they're old in age, but they don't have any enlightenment mentally. So they need to read and read to have comprehension, because the things they engage into not representative of a person who ought to exist. And that one of it, you see so. Your campaign, you continue to do that. We would like you people saying more. You can say more of that. You can write. You can create all kinds of stuff. It doesn't mean anything. Weah isn't moved by that. That's why he wrote back. He said, thank God that God resurrected him. In essence, he was saying, how stupid and dull are you people? And if you wish a person's death, God himself brings death to you. One of the things you Unity Party people have not understood, everything in life has the spiritual implication. Everything in life, there's the spiritual implication, except you weren't created by God. Everything. When you're wishing death of a person, God brings death to your door. The world is a witness of what I am saying. The world is a testimony. The world, the whole world. There are people who prophesy death, who wish death for people. No sooner had they reached their house, they receive a death news of a family member, of a member of the nuclear family. It is against that backdrop that God, who created everybody, he said, do not wish death for any person on earth. Once you decide within your heart, once it is reason here, the act has already been done. That's how God operates. Everything from here, this mind. Once you put it in your mind that this person is sick, this person will die, or this person die, what you're putting out, the sign you're putting out is the outcome of the mentor. It's already gone. God accept that. God sees you as an evil person. That's why he said this mouth. He said, let not your mouth rush you to speak. And that is why when people saying certain things about certain people, you don't get involved. Have you seen it from a traditional perspective? You see people in the area and the person just talking and saying all kinds of things about a person, and then the boy or the girl goes there, attempting to join to say, and the mother will just run and hold the boy or the girl mouth not to say anything. You know the reason for that? Because the mother, father understands the spiritual implication. Once that comes out, it finished. When you wish death for a person, God brings death to your door. When you wish death for a person who has no time for you, the person isn't thinking about you. The person got no time. The person isn't against you. But you think because you're in a political space, so that's politics, God does not see it that way because it comes from the heart. And he brings death to your door. The reason he brings death to your door so that you will shut up and not do it again and advise other people not to. You want George Weah to die? Everybody, look at the earth. Hundreds, millions, billions, trillions of people have died. Everybody going to die. Unity Party people will not stay on this earth forever. Joseph Imamboga will not stay on this earth forever and ever as president or as human being, a vice president, whosoever, everybody. Isam Andrews will not stay on this earth forever and ever. Everybody will die. Death is not something that you wish for on another person. Death is not a political weapon. Death is not anything you can weaponize people with. When you wish death of a person, you are telling the rest of the people you are evil, you are satanic, you are diabolical, and it's just a matter of time before God put death before you. There are people in this world and in this country that wish death for people. Before they can realize it, they die. Weah has no time for you. We are on his activities. He's not even thinking about you. You broke his headquarters down. He's fought hard. He break your rebuilding. You did everything you thought that it was never, ever going to be possible. You saw possibility. Because you have nothing now to say about this man. Everything that you brought, he proved you're wrong. So you resort now to sick. The man goes to break his headquarters, break ground for his headquarters. You say the man's sick. But you have a sick person. You have a sick person. This is not a political stuff. You can wish people evil and then you die. Yeah, Eugene Fagon, yeah. that Unity Party man, and he was seriously sick the few days. That one, that no sorry been it. I seen it. I too I can get sick over the time of being sick. That normal people can get sick. Sickness is supernatural and natural. Even Jesus Christ felt uncomfortable. That's illness. All of the people in the days of old, they felt sick. So how low we are in our body politics that we cannot intellectualize, rather resort to pettiness, something that you can sustain. You have a wider, dirty, stink soul. Then you're telling the next person that he should take the speck from his eyes. I thought you should be concentrating on your dirty, wide, stink soul. That's what God said in Matthew 7. If you think speck is in your brother's eye, you want him to take it out, no problem. But you must firstly look in your closet and see that you have no spot so that they can capitalize on that. Unity Party cannot sustain this thing. You stop it. You can sustain it. There is nothing. When we as people get ready to react, there is nothing. The government can do nothing. Borga can do nothing. Because you know why? It's not a crime. It is not a violation. It is not unconstitutional. You people are exercising your right. You people are demonstrating democratic tenet. Equally, George Weah supporters have the same rights that you have to do what you are doing against their leader. This is not politics. Death isn't a political tool that you can use against a person. It is not a political weapon. It is not a trophy that you can win. That is to tell you how Unity Party people are low. Instead of sustaining the issues, talk about what your president is doing. The gains he has made, if he has ever made a gain. Convince your people. And don't resort to petty things. The man did so much in this country, so much. The man's footprint and handprint is unprecedented. Unlike your president, the man is traveling around the world. Your president can travel around the world normally. When he's traveling, we are told by his office, he's moving with his support staff. And we understand support staff to mean medical people and other people to take care of him. So what have you guys gained from it now? What have you guys gained? Everybody, look at what they are doing. Liberian journalist Julius J. reported how men were going to the place in the night and the presidential palace, XYZ, they got vexed. They jump on him. They say how that lady, how they call Augustina, said that he child. They're on him 24/7. Just because he said what he said. So just praise Unity Party all day. Even if Unity Party going in a grave, be praising them, then they will say you're good. But that is not. I just saw that. Unity Party can sustain this. You stop it. I'm just advising you people. We are returns to the presidency 2029. Take it or leave it. We are is coming back. We are will turn setback into comeback. We are demonstrated it. We are the country has the first. We are demonstrated. He turned setback into comeback. Aren't you aware? You are not aware that we are demonstrated the first one, which is a conviction that He's coming back. They broke Unity Party, broke George Weah headquarters down intentionally. That was a setback. And he said it in his address. He said, though it is a setback, that was a setback. We have the comeback before us. It started on October 18. What did the chairman say last week? That construction work has started on the ground to get CDC headquarters going up. We are turned that setback into comeback. We is going to turn 2023 setback, turn 2023 setback into comeback 2029. Watch it. Unity Party comes along to help Weah achieve that by what they are doing now. Everything that Unity Party people doing presently, their supporters, most of their supporters are getting fed up with them. Most of what they're doing, their supporters, most of their supporters are fed up. They think that they're doing something good, but the people are fed up, wishing somebody's death. I bet you, take it or leave it. Let somebody die now from Unity Party, and seditions start celebrating. You see what Unity Party and other people say. Oh, the country here, we want to be like this, we do this, we that. But I can tell you, if anything happens to a Unity Party person, seditions will be happy, they will celebrate. And if you ask me, St. Andrews, should they celebrate? I will tell you rightly, yes. Because it is the right, I can control them. 2, they will be acting on what they've experienced from the other side. 3, from a spiritual standpoint, they will be right because God himself said, do unto others as you have them do unto you. We don't want that kind of culture. We don't want that kind of society, because it degenerates into the Mosaic atmosphere where it was tooth for tooth, eye for eye, hate for hate, grush for grush. That's what it will degenerate into. We don't want that. That is why we are advising that you stop it, because you can sustain it. Seditions are more strong. They are strong. They are good at this. Moreover, Unity Party has a wider, big problem. You stop it. You can sustain it. When it continues this way, when something happens to any Unity Party president, the people will celebrate. They'll be happy. And you will say, oh, that's the time you bring culture in. You will bring ethics in. You will bring all kinds of stuff. Right now, you're not being on culture. You're not telling your people you stop. You don't wish the former president's death. It is not good. That's not the kind of culture we have. It is not Liberianness. Nobody, all the top people of Unity Party, they are silent. They're enjoying the conversation. They're enjoying all the things they're saying. But let something happen to a Unity Party person and sedition start celebrating. Then they will put on human form now and come with culture. I'm not saying that when something happened to Unity Party people, they should celebrate. I'm saying if you ask me, I would tell them because it started, the Unity Party people started it. And their leaders have to tell them to stop. There are things that you can go on politicizing. Yes, it is understandable. There are certain things you can allow your people to do because it will go to another level. When you remain tight-lipped and the people wishing death of a former president as if death is politics or is a weapon or is a political trophy that you can win. You mute yourself. You're telling the people on the other side of the political divide, if something happens on our side, let them celebrate. And that will not be good. That will not be good at all. Look at the culture right now. Look at society. So much so that it caught the attention of most of the top brass. And you have not heard a single line with her condemnation from Alexander Cummings, from Edwin Snow, from several. I've been reading them before coming on the air. But you have not heard a condemnation from any one of the Unity Party people, as if nothing will happen to them, as if they will never get sick, they will never have any awful thing, they will never die, nothing will happen. Well, as I close, may I say to you, the culture is in place, yeah? I'm not supporting it, but we've seen it. If anything happens to any Unity Party person, CDC people will be excited. They will celebrate. They will say all kinds of things, and y'all not want it. And we don't want that kind of culture. Lastly, on the we are return to the presidency 2029, here is the most terrible aspect, the bad aspect. This country needs deliverance. And nobody, all of us are Christians, all of us are ministers of the gospel. Listen, because I explain the gospel here on Kings. So I can take myself from there. One who explains the gospel is that person. What is unfolding? What is unfolding? The reason God has spiritual people in the land so that they bring certain things under control. It doesn't make sense to the pastors. Unity Party people on the other side wishing George we are deaf. It doesn't make sense. For the pastors, it is the normal politics. Because they are from the camp of Joseph Yuma Boakai. And they are afraid if they say anything, support might not go to the church, or the person who is in government from the church, because most of the pastors were appointed by Joseph Yuma Boakai. Even as that is not the issue. They ought to. Wishing the former president death, it doesn't make sense to any pastor. Today or tomorrow, if something terrible happened to a Unity Party person and seditionists are celebrating, happy, the same way the pastor should remain silent. They should not say anything. The reason they say that pastors are mirror of society, they see things ahead as per their discernment and they move in to avert it. They move in to avert it to make sure that it doesn't happen. But if the pastors are not, and in this case, the Liberal Council of Churches is that mediatory arm. The Liberal Council of Churches would not see it necessary to issue any statement because the Liberal Council of Churches is an auxiliary of the government of Unity Party. Nobody is saying anything. Unity Party people wishing George we are deaf. It doesn't make sense to any pastor. It doesn't make sense to any evangelist, any bishop, any apostle. When something happened to a Unity Party person, whether small or big, whether in government or out of government, when the other people start reacting, nobody should open their oral cavity and can't talk about culture, can't talk about religious this, about religious that. I, Sam Andrews, should not hear that person, should not see that person. If I did, I will bring you on and disgrace you publicly. And you can take me into court. That's why we are saying it now. We are sounding the caution because we don't want our culture to degenerate into something that we would not be able to control, or we say to ourselves, had we known, we will have stopped this thing from the beginning. There's something big coming. We have to stop it. You people who are behind the pulpit every day, you can say, God revealed to redeem. Though I'm not inclined to that statement, but I think I can draw some theological implications from there. He gives the sign, and you use that sign to avert. It doesn't make sense. I see some of the people, some of the pastors, they're writing indirectly on Facebook. They want to be specific. I see them, most of them, we are friends on Facebook. I just look at them. After I did my write out, then I thought to do a round. The writing, they want kind of straight. They want Unity Party people to see them as condemning. They want sedition to see them as condemning Unity Party. And you can be that way. You can be that way. You can be unstable in your ways. You have to be specific. Saying the society is wicked, and you know that it's based on what they said about former President George Weah, or the saying, why will it take you to come out using that this is wrong? Let us not use this or wish the former president of this country death. Why will it take you? Unity Party people will not see you as a bad pastor. It only means that it is your responsibility. I am talking it this way. We've been talking it this morning. Israel sounded caution. I'm talking it. It's because it is our responsibility to keep society stable. It is our responsibility as stakeholders from our area of broadcast journalism to keep society stable. And one of the ways we do it by sending out a caution. It is wrong. It is not right for our culture. If we can stop it, it will degenerate into something else. If Unity Party officials cannot tell their members, their supporters, their fanatics to stop, it will degenerate into something. Unity Party people cannot sustain this. Seditions can equally say that Joseph Yuma Boaka sick, Joseph Yuma Boaka die. And you will do nothing about it, except you take guns and start shooting, killing people, or taking them, carrying them to central prison because they say Joseph Yuma Boaka die. We don't want the society to get into something that will not be able to handle. You tell your people, you tell them to stop. It is bad, it is wrong, it is not a politics. Death is not a politics. Wishing a person death is not a political weapon. You can score nothing from it. Just stop it. George Weah, like AB said, will not buy into your tricks. We know that you can win. And so you people coming up with all kinds of things. Yeah, the asset recovery team, they are focusing only on George Weah and his people. The asset recovery team know that people stealing, government officials in this government, building houses all over. They have never, majority of them, did not declare their assets, but they are constructing. Edwin Clark Martin has no time to go to those areas, but his mission is to get at Weah and his people. They are government officials we know. The head of LACC told us that vast majority of Joseph Yuma Boaka people have not declared their assets. Yet, they are accruing property unto themselves. They came into government. The reason they refuse to declare their assets because they have nothing. They have no asset to declare. They've gone almost 2 years. Look at the structures that they are putting down. Edwin Clark Martin, it does not make sense to him. His goal is to get at Weah and get at Weah people. Now, how you expect people, why it is true that every government, as I said initially, have to take stock of the previous as left behind by the government then, but the way you go about doing it, if it is selective, then it's questionable. Then your work will be questioned. And that's what Edwin Clark Martin is doing. But again, we will not buy into the tricks. It is a distraction. It is a distraction from the real issue. From the real, it is a distraction. We will not buy into that. I think he has some things doing today, and because Eugene Nagbe gave the itinerary, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I think Tuesday, yes, a series of activities line up. That's the dead man. Oh, yeah, you see, when you're so dull of a person, your existence on earth is regrettable. When you are so dull, you're looking at the man moving from one end to another, and then you say the man died. Unity Party people. Yeah. The liberal politics there, I know the foreigners, they can be laughing at us. Say, look at liberal the politics. The former president who is alive going all around, and they say the man died. You're scared of George Weah. That's what I mean. You're scared of the man. When people in the liberal way, you're scared of George Weah. Unity Party scared of George Weah, so they want George Weah to die. So they will have free ride. But if you wish we are dead, some of your Unity Party people, you will die before George Weah. Some of you are already sick. We know that. If you wish, you continue to wish George Weah death. Some of you will die. If you ain't die, your relative will die. Your children will die. Either your son or your daughter will die. That's why I took my time to explain the spiritual implication. God himself will bring death before your door. That's how he can work. That's why he said, do not wish death unto anybody. And what did he say? Unto the person who is being attacked. He said, do not avenge. Do not avenge. Leave it unto me. Because I am the God who can avenge. If God is avenging on your behalf, if someone is wishing you death and God said, leave it, I will avenge on your behalf, it means God will bring death onto that person. If he doesn't bring death onto that person, he will bring death onto that person's daughter or son. What did he tell Jezebel? He said, the one you love the most, I will take. When you wish death for somebody, God can look in your family. When you love your daughter the most, or you love your son the most, that one God can take from you. And then you will cry and cry until you cry blood. And nothing will change. You'll continue to wish death for George Weah, yeah? You'll continue. Some of y'all will go to family meeting. Y'all will go to funeral meeting. You'll continue. You're the same dull, stupid people. Y'all will be telling other people, oh, life and death lies in the power of the tongue. But you're doing it. You're saying it. So the death that you're wishing for George Weah, it will come onto you. It will come onto your Unity Party people. Anywhere, everywhere, all the Unity Party people listening to me. If you have your daughter or your son on Facebook who is a partisan of Unity Party and wishing George Weah death, you mother, father, tell them to stop immediately so that death don't come to your house. You're taking it for a joke. Everything in life has the spiritual implication. That's why God said all of those things. Don't do that. Don't wish anybody death. Don't curse anybody. Leave it. We can discuss the politics. Oh, the development here is not correct. Oh, they want here. Oh, that substandard. And that one part we can discuss it. Or it ain't mean anything. But when you leave the actual politics, you go on death. There between you and God now. That one not politics. That's where God can come in now. Because he said, the one who wishes death shall die by the same. All of your Unity Party people, everywhere, all of you who listening to me or watching me, you will continue to wish George Weah death. It means that death is coming to your door. Death is coming to your door. They get something they call reverse prophecy. Reverse prophecy means when you prophesy evil against the person, you also prophesy against yourself. You think that the person you prophesy about is coming to you. And too many people had that situation. If I wasn't out of time, I opened the line. Some people, very honest, they will explain their experience, how it happened to them. Too many. The world has too many examples like that. This country has too many examples. People wish death of others. By the time they could get home, the news hit them. Then they start screaming and yelling and rolling all on the ground. But that rolling there, then they start thinking now. Say, so that thing I was saying or that person, so that man say I was saying it too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So God said, before you can get to your house, that's the death news will greet you of XYZ relative, or your son or your daughter, or your husband or your wife. You take it for joke. In our politics, you continue. You continue to be on the internet. Yeah? You continue to be on the internet. You go there, you'll be saying all that you can say. You can describe we are any kind of way you can frame him, any kind of way you can frame it, whichever way. We're in the age of technology. That your business, you go ahead. I just took up time to explain this way. You can sustain it. You stop it. You stop it at no seditions. And no seditions. They are strong. They are courageous. They are brave. They are aggressive. You people can't sustain it. Unity Party people. You Unity Party people, you're just a plastic bear. You're weak. You're weak. You people just like Satan. Yeah? You just hate and wrong. You can't sustain anything. You can't stand. You continue. I see you. We are returning to the presidency 2029. You go up, you come down. Your vest are your business. Your visitation hitting you. And you used to say, oh, that 12 years, we're still on inside. And what is our response that we've always say, yeah, we agree. 12 years, we talk. 12 years, we're still on inside. But you, in a 12 year, you'll be talking to. In a 12 years, you'll be getting very, we hear you. So, yeah, when we go 2 years old, it's hurting your bad way. We are not hurting us. It's just like a team. You already down. They say he that down fear nothing. We already we lost. We in opposition. Yeah, we're fighting to come back. So you fighting to sustain yourself there. You and all now. Who angry? Who vexed? Who mad? Who demonstrating temper tantrum? That you are hating bad way. So much so that you gone to death. If you were not hating you, you will not be talking about death. Why you just start talking about death? Ain't nothing hating you. If you are normal and you moving politically normal, because it's hurting you bad way, you ain't doing nothing extra. You can't convince anybody. It hurting you, going in your soul, your marrow, your bone, your soul, your flesh. So you can't talk about death. You continue to wish death. And now your era. And you went to the People Party headquarters where Ellen was there, and you open fire, you kill the People Partisans. So you want to bring it to the party standard bearer. But at the last place, George Weah, that God carrying George Weah, God's spirit. What that line they say? He's covered with the shadow of his wing. That God, George Weah whole life, that God. That's why everything he do, he puts it in God's hand. He prays to God. He acknowledges God as his protector, his shield, his guide. He comes to Liberia. He's in the church. He gave his entire life to God. And no one who gives his or her life to God, God doesn't protect you. He goes on to protect. He goes on to build his protective hedge or covering over you. George Weah is protected. So anything you want to do, God, before you can even plan it, before you can finish, The spirit will slap you or get a double slap. When you go low, you die. You ready to tell your body to go bury you. You're finished. You can't see 2029. I see you. We're back tomorrow, if God permits. Today is Monday. Yes, the news is on. Please join us for it. The news is on at 6 o'clock. Join us for King's Newsroom at 6. 6:50, Isaka Sharif is in with CDC Hour. And then I need not tell you about the night hour. 8 o'clock, the man himself, the doctor, the only light, the teacher of the line, Anthony at Law, A.B. Will, with Face the Issues. Yes. Thank you ever so much. Join us tomorrow if you can. This is how we go home from the show. This is how we go home. Shalom.
Jah Rastafari. It's a redemption day.
Wagwan must struggle.
Wagwan revolution, people. Wagwan the blue revolution. Y'all ready?